Okay, so we're going to finish up today's lesson by sketching angles. Now there is one little typo. On this -50, it should have a little degree symbol. If you guys could add that, that would be great. I need to talk to you guys about a little bit of vocabulary. One of the things is quadrants. I need to talk to you about what a quadrant is and which one is what, okay? What does the word quad mean? 4, okay? So if you notice, I have 4 sections and each set up for my graph, okay? It's like a graph. They're going to be sketches of angles, okay? And the reason we have these 4 sections is we can divide, well, let me ask you this question first, okay? If I asked you with your arms to tell me what a 180 is, what would you do? Okay? A 90. Okay? A 360. All the way around? So let's go. 360. Okay? 270. Like that? Yeah. Okay? So if you think about it, we go all the way around though for a 360, right? Okay? So that's why we have to go all the way around a complete circle. Okay? So you're going to go 1 complete revolution to get all of the degrees between 0 and 360. But there are some key guide points in between. You guys know this one. What was this one again? 180. So that's a major one. Helps us divide the whole thing in half. Okay, what was this one? 90. That's a major one. We're dealing with right angles and things, and so that's a major one. It cuts the top part in half. Okay? So now let me go back to this other part. I know it's divided into 4 sections. But we do call them quadrants because it's 4. They have numbers. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? What is quadrant 1? Top right. Good. So this is quadrant 1. Okay. Where's quadrant 2? To the left. Good. And then from here, where's quadrant 3? Down, and then quadrant 4. Okay, that's super important because when we do our angles, they go from quadrant 1 to quadrant 2 to quadrant 3 to quadrant 4. Okay? So let me show you guys what I mean. I'm going to put this little helpful hint up here. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. We start here. This is 0 degrees. Okay, then you go counterclockwise when you're sketching an angle. So what was this one way over here? 180. Okay, and then what was this one in between? 90. And then to here? 270. And then all the way back to start? 360. Okay? So now I'm going to tell you about a little bit more vocabulary so we can sketch this angle. Okay? We always plot the vertex on the x-axis. Always plot the vertex at the origin, which is right here in the middle. Okay? That's the vertex of our angle, the pointy part. Okay? Now the x-axis comes in because we have the initial side. The starting side is always on the positive x-axis. So we call that the initial side. That's also the starting side. Okay? It's always on the positive x-axis for angles in standard position. This part's really important because we're going to learn about other angles on Monday next week. They won't be standard position. Okay? Then we have to figure out what quadrant 65 is in. Which quadrant does this one belong in? 1, because it's between 0 and 90. Okay? Now, is it closer to the 90 or closer to the 0? Closer to the 90. So now you sketch your terminal side. Okay? The terminal side is the one that you're rotating, like on a clock. It's the arm on the clock. Okay? So, the only other thing you need to do is show your curve here, mark your angle with an arrow of the direction you went in. And then just add your angle measurement. So that would be 65. Okay. Does that seem pretty simple? Okay. Now there's a few up there that are going to confuse you. You're going to do all 6, but I'll let you guys break to work on them. Which ones do you need me to show you right away? D and F. Okay, let's do D first. I tried to code them. Red was what I thought was easiest. Blue was in the middle, and then green I thought was the hardest. D, 500. Why does the 500 make that one look harder? It's bigger than 360, okay? So that means you have to go all the way around and go around some more, okay? So we know that this is 360 if I go all the way around, but if I come up to this spot, what's this one now? If I went all the way around once already? 450. How'd you get 450? We add 90, okay? So you take the 360, we added 90, so we had 450, okay? Because we added 90. All right. 450 is not big enough, okay? So we're going to add another 90, and we're going to get 540, okay? Is that big enough?
Yeah.
Yes. So what quadrant is 500 going to be in? It's going to be in quadrant 2. Is it going to be closer to the 540 or closer to the 450? 540. Okay, so I'm going to curve, bam, closer to the 540. Draw my little arrow. And that was 500. Now I did forget to mark my initial side. I'm going to put that in real quick. Is that okay? Yeah.
So the little red line is always going to be on that side.
Yes, the red line is always on the positive x-axis. You got it.
Same with the dot.
Same with the dot's always at the origin.
On down, there's no, like there's a dot. This is small.
This one?
Yeah.
That's just the 0 degrees.
No, like dot.
My dot right here, this one?
Do you have to have like a little circle thing?
I am not going to mark it wrong.
Okay.
You don't have it. I just wanted you to see where the vertex was. Okay, that's where I'm rotating. Okay, so when you do negative angles, it's still vertex at the 0, initial side on the positive x-axis. Does anybody know what you do when you go in the negative direction? We're going to go clockwise. Good. So if I think clockwise, I start 0 here. I go down. This is now negative 90. This one is now what? Negative 180. This one's now what? Negative 270. And this one is now what? Negative 360. So where does negative 50 go? Quadrant 1, 2, 3, or 4? 4. Closer to the 0 or closer to the 90? 90. Okay. And now I mark my angle with the arrow going in this direction. Okay. Does that seem pretty simple? All right, I do need you to finish up B, C, and E in your notes packet. Okay. When we're done with those, you can work on worksheet 2. There's a lot of problems there on worksheet 2, but they're really quick. You're just going to do the sketches. You're only doing parts A and B only. Part A is tell me the quadrant the angle is in. Part B is sketch it in standard form, standard position. I'll show you guys how to do part C on Monday. Okay, so don't worry about part C. Leave that little space blank. Okay. A lot of you guys are going to finish your homework in class today and your notes, so I'll start stamping today. This is it. So I want you just to finish your notes. I will check to make sure you did them all.